Welcome. Incoming message.
This is the May Contain Action podcast on Apple iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, and more.
3, 2, 1, 0. All systems active.
Welcome to episode 61 of the May Contain Action podcast. This show is brought to you, as always, by Manscaped, the best in men's below-the-belt grooming. Manscaped offers an immaculate body shaving experience. I am host number 2, a.k.a. Trevor May, a.k.a. IamTrevorMay, a.k.a. Trevor May. And my other host number 1, Paul, ActionJaxon, is here. Hello, Paul.
Hey, I'm here. I'm Paul, a.k.a. Paul, a.k.a. ActionJaxon.
Paul's here. This is a little bit of a special episode. No one is in chat right now because this isn't live, but we would have been remiss if we were not able to get this episode with this amazing guest.
Thank you for calling me that. That's one of my names. Amazing guest, aka OpticHECZ, aka Big OpticHECZ, aka Hector Raul Rodriguez, alias El Herculano, man.
Guess what? Later in this intro, I'm going to intro him again. All right, but before we get to our guest. Yes! Love that, dude. That was dope. But before we get on to our guest, I have a couple announcements really quickly. Tired of the music labels hogging all the music?
Aw.
Nice. Now you have a DMCA free option for music when you stream, create videos, or anything in between. The MCA family is proud to announce highpass.gg, the highest quality license-free music service out there. Go to highpass.gg right now. Pick your vibe. Your favorite place to listen and enjoy some dope tracks from some amazing artists.
Love that.
Also, you want to be on the pod? Call and leave a message. It's a random number from Oregon, 503-908-9526. Shout out to Google for giving us a number from the middle of nowhere. Leave your question and maybe you will make the next episode. Again, that number is 503-908-9526. All right, enough of the housekeeping. Let's move on to our guest. They've already popped in. They popped their head in and then popped back out. We're going to pop it back in real quick.
Pop it again.
Let's welcome this week's guest. The godfather of esports, an absolute gaming icon, has agreed to join us today, and it wasn't as hard as you think it would have been. HECZ is here. What's up, HECZ?
What up? Thank you for the invite. Hell yeah. Woo.
I'm so fired up.
A million apologies. This was supposed to happen live last week, but I last minute had to run out to Los Angeles. And I got to tell you, it's back. Los Angeles is back, baby. Full force. You can only visit. You can't live there. The traffic is horrible. It smells like pee like it used to. It's just really, really overpriced. I don't even want to continue on shit talking LA, but holy shit, that place is not the place.
It seems like you want to keep going.
I'll cut it short.
Yeah, just come on down to Port St. Lucie, Florida. We can go to Applebee's and then do absolutely nothing after that because this place sucks ass too.
You think, but you're almost, I think, an hour and a half away from Lake Okeechobee, the best bass lake in the country.
Of course.
If I do sell so myself.
Okay.
Who hasn't heard of Lake Okeechobee? Everyone knows that lake.
Everyone knows that, actually.
It's world famous.
World famous lake for bass.
For bass.
For bass.
Yep.
Outstanding. Well, HECZ, we want to get to know you a little bit, so we want to get right into it. First off, we asked everybody this with crazy ass names. Your name, HECZ. Where did it come from? How did you decide to go with that name? And if it wasn't your first name, like online presence, I'm talking AIM, MSN.
Yeah.
What was it?
It's always been HECZ, but I did have variations of gamer tags. But HECZ is the first 3 letters of my first name, last letter of my last name, HECZ, Hector Rodriguez. It's also been my graffiti name for over 25, 27 years.
Whoa.
I'm not good at math, but I started when I was 13 years old as an icebreaker. You know what I'm saying? I would draw girls' names in junior high school. And that's the icebreaker.
Oh, wow.
And then I figured out, you're doing graffiti. And I was like, what the fuck is graffiti? And then I did my research and fell in love with the art form. And here I am, 41 years old. Still drawing.
This is our second graffiti artist.
Yeah. Who's the first in gaming? Who's the first?
Oh, yeah.
Monster to Face, man.
Who the fuck is that? I'm gonna look him up right now.
He's the commentator that does all the Fortnite tournaments.
Yeah.
Monster DeFace.
DeFace.
Yeah, dude. He's
graffiti
from
writer?
the Bronx,
He's-
right?
He's
he
also
was
known as Monster DeFace because people have
Monster
mispronounced
DeFace.
it for
Monster
so long.
DeFace. DeFace from like that's what his name was when he did graffiti.
He defaces property. Yeah.
He defaces property. Yeah.
Yeah.
His is dope. You should check his shit out, man. It's really
You
good.
guys would get along
really well. Yeah.
Famously, you think? Yeah. Typically, graffiti writers don't like each other. It's just competition. You know, it's crazy. I say this, and I'm telling you, Trev, and I guess ActionJaxon as well, because he plays video games. But you, as a competitive athlete, like graffiti is the only sport-like art form that exists because you're always in competition with somebody else. Whether you're trying to get up, whether you're painting more trains than somebody else, whether your style is better, wild style, mastering all the styles, etc., which is, I think, why I fell in love with the art form, just from a competition standpoint. So that's why I got super territorial when you said that I was the second graffiti writer. I'm like, wait, hold on, in gaming there has to be another one.
I'm not gonna lie, dude. The same thing happens. I'm like, hey, dude, I know another athlete who plays. I'm like, yeah, well, I'm an OG. I've been around longer than him. I bet. F that guy. He's just I'm the guy who plays sports and also streams.
100%.
I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit if he plays.
I think the competitive croquet community takes offense to you saying or crochet. They get very upset if you say crochet. It's actually croquet.
Okay.
Yeah, they get very upset. Let's go.
Wait, isn't croquet like what?
Let's move on.
Isn't that a type of cookie? I'm so
no, it's yeah, it is.
But croquet is like a game where you hit it with the mallets.
Yeah.
It's like polo on your feet.
Exactly. Without the horse. The poor man's polo. Yeah,
it's poor man's polo. Yeah,
very close.
What a left turn that was.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Aside from that, the only other gamer tag was Prestige before Call of Duty. Prestige emblems were even a thing. Call of Duty 2 Prestige. Plague Prestige. That's the name of my first clan. Plague. Nice. Then I joined Optic and turned it into what you see today.
Cannot wait to hear more about that. Trust me, we're gonna get the nitty gritty. People need to know, right? People just need to know the story because this show, we're meeting creators like everywhere from all over people really early in their careers that have found a little bit of success recently, all to people who've been around since like YouTube became a website, and everything in between. And you have a very, very unique journey through this whole thing, and we're super excited to learn about it. And it kind of takes me to my next question. We got creators from everywhere, and bloggers, everything. I could honestly say though that basically the thing that everyone does, you probably dabbled in at some point, from vlogging to creating content to competitive playing to owning a team to everything, from the business side to the creation side to everything. So it's been gaming's been there the whole time. And I really want to know, because you made this decision earlier in the advent of the quote unquote gaming industry than a lot of people did. When did you decide? When did you realize you're like, dude, video games and just like competing and all this. This is going to be what I'm doing for the indefinitely till I decide that I don't want to anymore. This is it. When did you make? What happened? Where were you? Like what happened when you decided like I'm going all in on this?
Well, I was creating content for about 2 years on YouTube. I've always understood sponsorships just from having graffiti friends that were sponsored by paint companies that like gave them free paint. So I always modeled that sort of idea as to what I wanted to do. So for those 2 years, I was just trying to build an audience so I can sell that to a sponsor. But the day that I knew that I was going to do this for the rest of my life was I was on the phone with Hutch, and we go way back. He was part of Optic at one point, and we were having a conversation, and he's like, hey, that if you give Machinima videos, you can make money off of that. You can make $2.50 every 1,000 views. It was at that very moment that I said, I can get paid to do that. And granted, at the time, I was only getting 14,000 views per video. And, you couldn't really make a living off of that. But I didn't care about that. All I heard was you can make $2.50 every 1,000 views. That, to me, was the hard part. Getting the views, to me, was like, all right, we'll figure that out. But now there's a way to monetize this thing where it's going to be good. And I love playing Call of Duty. So for me, it was like, if someone's going to pay me to have fun, I'm going to do that for the rest of my life. Yeah. And here I am, to end 2006 to 2021, 15 years into this thing.
Wow.
Beautiful.
Dang.
I mean, I've been talking about how long I've been playing baseball, man. You got me by 2 years. And my back hurts.
Yeah. Oh, my back hurts too, bro.
That's
carrying Nate everywhere.
Crazy. Hey, and Machinima, too. Like they saw something early. They're like, yo, we can get like 250 per 1,000 views. People are like, yo, that's awesome. But in reality, like, dude, this is cheap as shit. We're getting so much content,
Yeah, exactly.
Like on their end, like that was the beginning of the business model. Like that was the first time it happened. And it's awesome to hear, because we met McLaffy Taffy, who also did Machinima, and Monster Deface did Machinima, and we've had a few people on who were like, I just heard that same way, ears perked up the same way that yours did. Like, wait, I can make a little bit of money. I'm not just doing it. I'm in. And then, obviously snowballs from there. But so
I was going to say that for me, it was a little bit easier to make that decision because I didn't know that it could be a thing, right? I was 27 years old when I started playing, 26 years old when I started playing Call of Duty. By that time, I had already been in the workforce in corporate America for a very long time. And it happened in such a weird time in my life because my wife was pregnant, or my now wife was pregnant. I was working at AIG making a third of what I was making in my previous job. So this whole thing sort of like happened at the right time for me. And I said it from the beginning, like any money that you make off of gaming is way too much money already. It should be a crime to get paid to have fun. But yet here we are, right? Like
here we are.
Three dudes and something more than a producer just sitting here enjoying like a conversation that we're going to be able to provide entertainment for other people. And like podcasts, to me, I'll appear on any podcast anytime if I have time. If it's friends, I'll obviously make time. But I remember sitting in my mortgage job listening to the Lost show podcast, but it was just some random dude that created a podcast around the show Lost, and it offered so much relief on my weekly routine that I said, one day I'm going to pay this back. And right now I'm 91 episodes into my own personal podcast, the Eavesdrop podcast. I've appeared. I want to tell Matt, my camera right hand man, to go and count how many times I've appeared on a podcast, but it's got to be in the 200s easily.
Jeez.
Dude.
Good Lord, man.
We should have asked earlier. What were we doing? What? I was like, I'm afraid. Is he going to say yes or no?
Really.
Dude, I'm very much the same way, man. I'm very much in the. I just feel like there needs to be a point, especially if you committed to being a content creator or just like going all in on something. You should just go yes mode, right? Just go yes mode until you get to a point where you're like, okay, like now my time is worth a little bit more. And then like, I don't know, once you get your message out there and you've developed it a little bit, a lot of like how you approach things, especially when you've done as much as you've done in this whole space, just everywhere, you have a lot of knowledge to draw from. You got a lot to offer. And so at the end of the day, like at some point, access to you, or just like your time is money, literally. Because because you can help people. So you figured it out so much that you can help people quickly, and you don't need to like sit there with someone for 6 hours and be like, hey, let's talk about brand building. You can give them the half an hour, like, hey, all this stuff will work for you. And once you get to that point, man, that's really, really valuable to both parties. So
the one thing that I learned through this process is just that, right? Right now, as I'm entering the marijuana industry and the marijuana business, I hired people that have already made this journey, people that have already launched their own marijuana brands, THC brands, hemp brands. And essentially what I realized is that I'm paying them to learn from their mistakes already, right? So when people offer me, whatever advisory shares for whatever company, they're essentially just paying me to not have to go through the 15 years of experience in esports and gaming entertainment that I've gone through. So
didn't think of it like that, actually.
Yeah.
Whenever you apply for a job and it's like experience needed, like we don't want to pay for you to mess up.
Yeah, that is exactly what that is. Yeah, exactly. But a lot of times there's like a piece of paper that says you have it.
Exactly.
And so it's all about just learning stuff that you can bring value to the next group. And we're all not getting younger, so it's not like you can just log on and play Call of Duty all day forever and just be like, oh, I'm just gonna have X amount of viewers and I'm just gonna make this much money, because eventually, and someone was it Khalif said, he used the word aging out. Phrase, and I was like, oh, that hurt, but it's also exactly what it is. And so you got to find ways, like you got to when you're historically correct and you've had success in other things, then you use that for the next wave, and then you turn that into something.
Well, how old is that dude?
He's old.
Well, what's old? I'm 41 years old.
Cleve's about your age.
Yeah, he's about your age, actually. Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what. I think I got a lot of gas left in these thumbs, man. I think that once the thumbs start to fail, then I'll move to keyboard and mouse, which is way easier to use anyway. So I'll just like go down in that direction.
Yeah,
Okay.
easy.
All right.
Easy. Well, that answers one of our game questions.
Podcast is over.
Snuck it in.
Wrap it up. So
nothing
I want to know
on MK. Anyway, continue.
I want to know, Hex. So when you get started doing all this, right? Your buddy is like, "Hey, we can make money on Machinima making videos and whatnot for crazy wages." When you got started doing this, and when you got started making these videos, what's something you wish you would have known before you got started? You feel like a hurdle that you could have avoided, and then what's something you would tell someone else getting started now?
Well, I can tell you what the number one thing that I wish I can go back and redo. Look, I love my journey. I love where I'm at. Like, I wouldn't change anything. But if I could do one thing, would be not to take 2 years off of my personal YouTube career to build Optic. And I know now that I can do both simultaneously, where I can still be a content creator, I can still vlog, I can still stream semi-regularly, call it once every other week. But from when it comes to content creation, like I'm there. I show up for work, right? I do my podcast on a weekly basis. I vlog at least 3 times a week. Every single time that there's an opportunity to create a side show, like we do that. That's just on my own personal stuff. We also have the team stuff where we do 3 pieces of content a week on top of our podcast, on top of a game, like a pre-game show that's the sort of live streamed. Could be live streamed, but we do it pre-recorded, then go live or YouTube premiere. But the one thing I would not have given up on my own sort of brand and business to build the bigger business.
Why do you feel like that? Why do you feel like that was a bad decision?
Well, because ever since then, like, because I'm at 940,000 subscribers, and I've been doing YouTube for over 10 years. Or longer than that, right? So by now, I think that I would have hit that 1 million subscriber mark, which is like one of my goals in life, is to be, to reach that goal.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and at the same time, I would do more good than bad, right? Like seeing what I'm able to do now from this perspective, from being the CEO of an organization, but also that creates content, it gives me a little bit more of a different perspective, and it allows me, more than anything, and I mean this, it allows me more ability to be able to tell one of my players that they're being fucking lazy, right? If they come to me with some bullshit like, dude, I'm practicing 8 hours a day to then go compete at the highest level, I get to say I'm playing at the highest level from a business level, and it's super boring and I don't get to have the same fun. But creating content and building your own brand is just value added. Now, if that was going to benefit me only, then obviously I'd feel a little bit more guilty about that. But they're building their brand to become more valuable. I'm essentially, helping them be more expensive to somebody like me who pays them, but it's for their own benefit. Young kids, man, it's the responsibility.
Yeah, you got to learn at some point, right? You don't just get, I mean, that's what's crazy. And I got, when I got like way into the learning about the esports and how, like, when franchising was getting really hot, and I was all interested in the Overwatch League, and I was blessed enough to be able to like kind of get a little bit of an inside scoop into how all that worked. And it was so interesting talking, because I got to go talk to everybody before the league launched, and just looking out in the crowd and just looking and be like, none of you got, like, 70% of you have never been on a stage, right? And just the look of just sheer deer in headlights panic. Like, I'm like, this is the big leagues. You're gonna be up on stage, and like huge fans you're gonna get tweeted at, and they're gonna be like, why'd you do that? Or why didn't show up to play? Blah. You're gonna have to deal with it, and it's gonna be a thing. But if you can do it, this is an opportunity of a lifetime. And I had so many guys come up to me and like, hey man, like, are you serious? Like, is this like, is it? And it was like a culture shock and beyond anything I ever seen. It reminded me of when like a guy gets drafted in baseball and then gets moved across the country, just shows up by himself one day and like doesn't know where to go, what to do, or not anything. He's just like, and then not only that, you look around and everyone's just as good as you. Right? Yeah, there is a growing up that happens, and it happens so abruptly in video games. Like there's no build up. It just happens. Like
Yeah.
people just have to learn how to be like guys. A game comes out, they're really good at it. In a month, they're suddenly like, oh, I have 10,000 viewers. Then they have to figure out on the fly how to handle a stream that big.
Exactly.
Right? Like that happens all the time. And it is crazy. But you know, if I were that kid, I mean, listen to you say, hey, you do this. I would be listening because, you know, if there's anyone who knows, it's you. So
exactly how to get started and where do you, exactly.
And what you should be focusing on, like figuring out what the hell your goals are. Cause they just, I mean,
so
they want to roll out of bed and then get in their chair and play games.
Yeah. Essentially, if I don't want to oversimplify what you're saying, Hex, but essentially it's like your tip to these kids that are getting started now is like, hey, don't be lazy. Like work on your own brand type of a thing. Is that?
Yeah, but it isn't for everyone, right? Like there is such thing as like the hustle porn that people like sort of talk about all the time, where, you know, mental health is important. And obviously, right, like working as hard as I have done, or as hard as Nate Shut did, or as hard as Scump is currently formal, like everybody around me, like that's not for everyone, right? And I don't expect everybody to sort of follow down that path. But I also tell them that, you know, to really separate yourself and to really go above and beyond is going to be the easiest path to really separate yourself from the crowd. And they do, right? So
yeah,
I understand that it's not for everyone, and I don't push it on everyone. Sure. But you know, if it's a difference between Hutch, for example, who's one of my dearest friends in life, this dude streams 4 hours a day, and that's it, right? And he found his this is what I'm gonna do, period. And I give him shit all the time, like 4 hours a day, like a part-timer, you know, and but that he's happy where he's at, and priority number one for anyone should be being happy, stress-free as much as they can, and just live life, right, and enjoy it. And if that's what his thing is, then that's what it is.
Agreed.
I heard there was a really good way. I think this is a good way to put it. Like, map your actions to your words, man. If you're talking and you want to be, you know, in that Scump level, you want to get there, you talk like you do, then what you do better map to how you get there, right? Yeah, but if that's not what you want,
that's fair.
Then if that's not what it is, if I don't hear that from you, then, you know, maybe it's something else. But if you talk a big talk, then walk it. Those are the guys you get on and you push because you know they want it. And they you know, there's a little bit of an obstacle there, and you got to just hit them with
fair.
It. But map those actions to the words. I love that. I can't remember who said it, but it was just, it stuck with me. I thought that was a good way to put it.
Roger Clemens.
We got Barack Obama. So our final question here in the little first section, asked it to everybody. It's very important. You grew up in Chicago, correct?
From the time I was 14. Yeah.
Okay. So your early adult life, teen. Okay. So Chicago, center of the country. This is important. It's about food. I want to know. This is important, man. Nade's gonna have something to say. I'm sure you've had the conversation with him 1,000 times.
First of all, anytime you're gonna talk about food, do not say the word Nate Shot to me.
Okay, yes. So it's gonna be the exact opposite of everything that guy likes.
The palate of a fucking 5-year-old.
It's true.
Bro, don't ever let's just pick someone big like me, you know, that loves eating. What's
yeah.
All right, hit me with
like
some
Jack. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think Jack
loves
some pretty good ones. Pretty good ones too. He's like, my mom's chicken parm is number one.
He did say that. You're right. Yeah.
Soup. Anyway, if you're swinging by, dude, you're like, I'm gonna go play 6 hours of Call of Duty, and you're gonna swing by somewhere, grab some food. What are you getting?
Portillo's.
Okay.
What? Yeah, it's gonna be my for fast food. Portillo's is my go-to in the area of Chicago suburbs that I lived in. It's called Schaumburg. There's at least like 4 banging taco spots that I can go to. But yeah, you're not gonna catch me at a fancy restaurant as my number one pick.
Portillo's.
Yeah, Portillo's.
Hot dogs, beef burgers, salads. Ooh,
it's fire. No, it really is fire. It's really good.
Oh, I've not seen this place before.
It's
with the crinkle fries. They got the. Oh.
Bro, you don't understand until you have it. Let me put it like this, okay? If I go there, this is what I'm ordering, and every single time never fails, right?
Yeah. Okay.
2 chili cheese dogs, no onion.
Oh,
check.
Got it. Hit him.
A cheeseburger with bacon, not a bacon cheeseburger. You have to order a cheeseburger, add bacon, because the way they make the cheeseburger, the essentials of the composition of that cheeseburger is not the same as the plain old shit. So you got to add the bacon on top of that.
Okay.
And cheese fries, large.
Of course.
Two giardiniera pepper sides.
Hit him with it.
And a chocolate milkshake.
Oh, slurp it down.
You're alive after this?
Seriously, that was like 4 entrees.
Then you're like, yo, dude, this is going to give me lots of energy, or I'm going to fall asleep with the controller in my hand. Oh, dude, you had to admit 2 chili dogs, then you added the burger, then you added the cheese fries. There's a lot of cheese.
You didn't even name a drink. What do you want?
Yeah, no, chocolate shake.
Did? That was the milkshake. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Just it's made with mayo. It's
flush it down with some more dairy. All right, just get it in you.
I love the burger hack where you're like, no. Everyone thinks you get the bacon cheeseburger.
Yeah.
That's shit. What you do, you get the cheeseburger and then you ask them to add bacon.
I'm so hungry. I've had such a long day too. Holy shit.
I'm hungry too.
Oh man. I would totally. And we get it shipped here, but it's not the same.
You get it shipped? No way.
You can ship Portillo's to you, but it's not the same. It's good. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, it literally says it right here. Ship Portillo's.
Yeah, ship Portillo's.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, you can't ship the burgers, but you can the beefs and the hot dogs. The beefs are just phenomenal. I never order it really. The beef.
Yeah.
The chicken sandwich there, like bro, everything. I could eat there. Like 3 times a week, no problems.
I might legitimately ship this to my house because this looks really good.
Do it, and then
there's no code.
Put it on YouTube.
You vlog it exactly.
Look, it's one of those things where I've even hit up their corporate office to see if they would allow me to bring a franchise to Frisco, Texas.
No way.
No response.
Response.
It would murder. Yeah.
What?
Matt and I, right? I'm like, my name is this. This is my business partner, Matt.
Yeah.
We want to bring a Portillo's to Frisco, Texas, and no response.
I love that.
What?
Yeah,
bro, they have
1.4
thousand subscribers on YouTube. They don't even know who they're dealing with.
Here's what you do. You just say, you DM, you're like, hey, Mr. Beast, I need you to I need you to just tweet,
I need your help.
Hey, Portillo's. Don't even tag him. Just say, hey, Portillo's. Hex needs you to let him buy a franchise.
Yeah, bro. Imagine
him or Corpse, just one of those 2 guys. It'll get 200,000 likes immediately. I just met him, but Portillo's is good. I heard. I don't know.
It's so good. So yeah, those are my answers.
That is outstanding. Portillo's. Okay,
I love it.
And, really and just so you know, right? Nate shots. You heard my order, right?
Mm-hmm.
Here's Nate shots: 2 hot dogs, plain, ketchup on the side.
I knew it.
And cheese, and no, not even cheese fries, just regular fries. What 5-year-old doesn't even put mustard on their fucking hot dogs?
Who doesn't put mustard, dude? How do you not get it? If a chili cheese dog is available, like if they're like, we put chili on it. I'm like, I don't even give a shit what the chili is. Like, it could be disgusting. I want this.
My wife puts ketchup on her hot dog, and I do not trust her.
Oh, I do 100%. Hot dog, I do mayo, mustard, and ketchup. I do it.
If you do all, that's fine. But if you're like, no,
ketchup,
just ketchup, please. Yeah. I don't trust
this dude orders ketchup and his side. He's grown up, but I bet you up until 3 years ago, his meal has always been either chicken tenders and ketchup and fries, or steak, fries, and ketchup. Anywhere you go, doesn't matter where you go. Steak, fries, ketchup. Not mashed potatoes, not a baked potato.
No.
Not au gratin, or however you say it.
Oh yeah. Au gratin.
That works.
Yeah.
Au gratin.
No one
knows the joys of a twice baked potato.
Oh, dude, I'm so hungry.
Dude, Paul, he's never even had a salt potato, dude. Come on, man.
Oh, salt potato. Oh my goodness.
So good. I will give Syracuse its props for salt potatoes, bro.
Salt potatoes.
Those things are fire.
They hit.
It's literally just like potatoes cooked in salty water, but it's so good.
What's your food unpopular opinion? I'll go first. Fried pickles. Fried pickles can go
they're
F
fire.
themselves.
Fried pickles.
They're fire. I love fried pickles. You don't like fried pickles?
I love pickles.
Yeah.
Don't love fried pickles.
Okay.
I don't know if I have one that strong. I am a fried egg on burger denier. I don't like that. You get that shit out of here. I don't want that's my burger.
Have never tried it. Don't have any interest.
Nope. I don't want runny egg down my burger. I'm good.
I love eggs. I love runny eggs. but not on a burger. It just doesn't.
Yeah, no,
It makes it soggy. Yeah,
No.
it's got to be
That's
done
horrendous.
really well, and it's not great.
My gosh.
And that hurts me.
Yeah. And that's why you're the producer and nothing else. All right. Right on. We have a question from our audience.
We do have a question from our audience. For the sake of time, let's hop right into it.
Love the audience.
This one is from Mr. Mittens.
Mr. Mittens.
It says, "Hey MCA Pod, it's Mr. Mittens 18." Oh, hey Mr. Mittens. For the next or any guest, streaming brings together a lot of different things outside of just playing the game, learning the audio, video, management, sponsorship, branding. Not to mention utilizing all social medias everywhere, TikTok, YouTube, whatever. So right now, and you kind of hit on this question already, so I'm going to expand it a little bit for him. What was the hardest thing to learn as a new streamer, even as you continue? So I would like, personally, I think continuing to be a content creator now, what is the toughest thing to stay on top of all of the different stuff, in your opinion? Like right now, the hardest thing to make sure you're hitting or not hitting, where should people be that maybe they're not doing well enough, and that if you're new, it might be a good place to start to get yourself going?
But personally, it's consistency, man. I think consistency will be the end all be all in a situation like this, right? Even if you can't stream daily or consistently on a daily basis, then if you're able to have a consistent schedule where you say Friday nights, I'm going to be here at this time, then you're sort of able to sort of churn that machine. Aside from that, if you're so all over the place, like it's hard to follow. So for me, it would have to be consistency.
Consistency. We get that one a lot.
Yeah.
I think people confuse consistency with just a massive hours live, which isn't necessarily the same thing.
Right.
For sure.
I think it's about creating that becoming part of someone's routine.
Yeah, even to Hutch's credit, he does 4 hours, right? But he does 4 hours consistently.
And they know where he's
you don't have to
be.
do 13 hours every day. You can, but that's not necessarily the consistency. That's quantity.
And he's a consistently shitty teammate. So that also helps, you know?
There you go. Hot dog.
Selfish.
Selfish.
The consistency and I think that the biggest thing is just communication, right? The guy who communicates better than anybody, and I use it all the time, and I've used this example a ton with this answer, Go Carnage. He communicates what he is doing better than anyone I've ever seen in content. You know exactly what the guy plays. A different game almost every day, sometimes 2 different games in the morning and then in the night. And but you know where you can go to find out what he's going to play, and you can decide whether or not you're going to be there or not. And he's got the most consistent group of people that watch him regularly, even though his games are all over the place. He knew that he was going to have to hyper communicate, so the people that wanted to catch a certain type of content knew when to be there. And obviously he's hyper consistent, right? He streamed like 1,000 straight days or something. Like he's got the world record, or whatever. That helps. But the guy plans better than anyone. So if you're like, I can only stream like Mondays and maybe Fridays, okay, plan it and just hyper communicate it. And especially when things come up, just let them know as soon as you can. And people will literally, like the people who hang with you will hang. They'll hang because they trust that they're going to know, and they won't have to they won't just forget. They won't forget about you when you're communicating with them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah. I think the other thing is don't expect this to be don't expect to be famous. Don't expect to be uber successful in that. I think that if people go into it with the plan, with the sole plan of creating something that they're going to be proud of at the end of the night. So whether it's that 3-hour stream that you felt really good about, good interaction with anybody, whether it's 30 people, 20 people, 15 people, whether you're creating a video, whether you're creating a piece of art, the reward is going to be that piece of content itself. The reward is going to be how proud you are of that. Everything else, making a living off of this thing, making a super good living off of this, being just uberly successful off of this, that's the cherry on top. Your number one goal should be to create something that you are proud of creating, that you think it's dope, because if you do, then more than likely other people sometimes will be able to sort of catch on to that vibe. But if you go out there with this thing, it's like, all right, I'm gonna quit my job right now, which means that by the end of this month, I need to make $3,500. You're just mentally, you're gonna fuck yourself. Physically, you're gonna just exhaust yourself, And at the end of the day, you're gonna hate something that you thought you were gonna love because you went into it the wrong way. So if you go into it with the thought that, you know what, I like seeing, streamers, I'm gonna stream myself. If you create a good stream, whether 10 people watch it or 20 people watch it, doesn't matter. As long as you're proud of that, you're happy within yourself, that will allow you to continue to do that, improve, grow, etc.
Beautiful. And I would be remiss if I didn't say the end of this text because I forgot to finish it. Love the pod and shout out to PM because we all know audio is the most important thing. So shout out to PM, dude.
Yeah.
He said good job or whatever.
Thank you.
So
That's actually Hex, you bring up a point. I think that's actually encouraging to content creators now who are currently making a living off it. Whether you're I call them blue collar streamers, right? And you're making enough to, pay for the house and like make a living off of it.
Bro,
You don't have that.
Think about that blue collar success, right? If
Yeah.
you are able to make a living off of something that you love, you've already won.
Exactly. Yeah.
Pay your
exactly.
bills and have fun. Like, who doesn't? That's the American dream. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, 100%. And so what you're saying, is a good encouragement of like when you're starting to get down on yourself or when you're just like not having fun, that the reward is the content itself. Like an artist doesn't paint a portrait or on the canvas and think like, man, I can't wait to make money off of this. Like, what the frick are you painting? Like, that's not the reason to do it. Like, you should be enjoying the work of art you're doing, which is your craft, which is your entertainment in and of itself. And then hopefully maybe you can monetize that, which would be great.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it's
I think that's super
for eating
important.
and sleeping and all that stuff. That's helpful. But yeah, it's all about trying to find what's going to make you happy in the end of the day. I mean,
I'm not saying you got to starve you're not going to be a starving artist, but my goodness. Keep it in perspective. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, it is now time for our ad read.
Can't wait.
Do it.
Dog. Guys, today's episode is brought to you by Manscaped. Now, everyone knows Manscaped has the perfect package 3.0 for all your below-the-waist grooming needs, but they didn't stop there. Complete your grooming game with the new refined cologne signature scent by Manscaped. The same signature scent, and it's in all Manscaped formulas. This cologne is the perfect complement to the collection. Light, approachable, gentlemanly, in all the right ways. Think of it as a wingman on a hot night out. Fresh, ready for anything. Calming, inviting. The signature scent introduces a light citrus burst before settling into the anchoring notes of a velveteer and woodsy masculine finish. This 50 milliliter spray cologne is hypoallergenic, cruelty-free, dye-free, paraben-free, murder-free, 100% vegan. This is beautifully designed bottle that it comes in as well. It's a statement piece. It says, I smell manly. I'll put you in the mood. Also, be sure to check out the Perfect Package 3.0 with all the essentials for your below-the-waist grooming needs, including the Lawnmower 3.0 trimmer, crop formulations, get the fresh sack you've always wanted. I'm talking about ball deodorant, toners. Keep your testes your besties. And now you can use the Manscaped Refined Cologne to complete the set. Smell great anytime, anywhere. It's time to feel sexy. Get 20% off and free shipping with code MCA at manscaped.com. That's 20% off and free shipping with code MCA at manscaped.com. Your balls, your body, and your date. Thank you.
Ooh.
Hot damn.
The journey of different accents and tones and pitches. There was like a 4-octave roller coaster.
I was playing myself giving an ad read. That was me. Yeah,
that was really good.
You should read Audible books.
You should.
You're good, man. That was good.
So, fun fact: I actually looked into that briefly, and apparently, you have to start in erotica. So I was like, "Well, that's going to be uncomfortable for me and my wife."
Well, duh.
Apparently, you have to start out like every other job. Just
let's see your range.
The bottom of the barrel. How much can you?
What if you just had to start in porn before you did any other job? Oh, see there on the resume, no porn. You haven't. I don't know if you can handle the stress.
Yeah, I see you want to throw a baseball, Trevor, but how do you like sex?
Awkward. I think I'm just gonna go to college.
Trev, I will say this. I think that you are like one of the few people that get to enjoy the two best jobs in the world, right? Being a professional athlete and the second best job in the world, which is what we do, right? Being a content creator and that. But I always felt like being a professional athlete and performing at that level in front of all of those people pre-COVID, whatever, has got to be like the stressful, of course, but that's why you're there, right? Like you have a certain type of gene in you that blocks all that shit out. You perform, whatever. But I think that is, to me, like being an athlete, a professional athlete has to be like the best job in the world, no matter what it is.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm a happy guy, man. I like to be cynical and talk shit about Florida all the time. But like, dude, my wife says all the time. She looks at me sometimes. She's like, it's important we say this, but we lived a blessed life. This is pretty awesome. I'm like, this is awesome. My cats are awesome. I get a freaking stream and people actually care, give a shit. Sometimes they don't even talk about baseball. It's great. Like it really is great. And like, getting to compete every day is like. I always talk shit about, someday I'll retire, but like I'm gonna miss the shit out of freaking going 100% and like just blowing it past somebody, man. There's no feeling like it. But I love content creation too. That's why I literally like I have an off day on Thursday, and my I just like they're like complete off day, which is like gold. And the guy was stretching my arm today. He said, "What are you doing Thursday?" I'm like, "Got work. I'm pumped." I got all kinds of work to catch up on. It's gonna be fire. It's gonna be such a work day. Cannot wait. He's like, bro, that's crazy. Like, he goes, you need to hear yourself right now. That's just so weird to me. I'm like, yeah, it's kind of weird, isn't it? But I love it. So
I say it every day. I when I'm leaving the office, whether I'm at the Hex quarters or on the other side at Scoreboard Ventures, I'm like, all right, I'm on my way to my second job. And I was like, what? I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go play some video games. That's the second job.
That's awesome.
Gotta keep two jobs.
Yeah.
Got it, dude.
Gotta keep busy.
Amazing. So Hex, we kind of touched on it a little bit in the beginning there, where you were getting started personally, but this is more generalized towards Optic, right? So run us through a little bit about how Optic started, how Optic became to be, and how you went content versus esports, right? How do you see that intersection like crossing, especially with a heavily esport? You were an esport team. How do you cross over content with that, and how did it all get started?
You know what? It seems so natural to a lot of people now, but at the time, I guess we didn't give it too much thought into it, right? We started out as a competitive team, but quickly realized that we weren't going to be anywhere on the first page of Game Battle's ladder. So we decided to start making content, highlight reels of this thing. And the second that we started garnering an audience, I'm like, okay, I'm going to sell more t-shirts than any other pro team out there. So we've already won, right? We can make a living off of this thing. So winning. And then I just like so overexpanded on that a little bit. I think we were at 300,000 subscribers on Optic Nation through sniping and that sort of content that we created when we decided to step back into competitive Call of Duty. By luck of the draw, I got to talk to a kid named Matt Haig, who was super curious about everything that there was to anything and everything that had to do with making money off of this thing. He wanted to learn everything about it, not because he wanted to make money, but because he wanted to quit his job and he wanted to do this full time. So in a situation like that, like you'll get good players and everybody will say, this is what I want to do. I want to create content, but he meant it, right? Like Scumpy meant it. Like other people on my team have sort of come and gone, and not a lot of them mean what they say when they're like, yeah, I want to be more than just a professional gamer. And I always say it, like I can open doors for individuals all day long, but it's up to them to walk through that door and own the room. That dude walked in and decided that he wanted to own the fucking building. And he fucking did. So you fast forward a couple of years and us sort of creating Call of Duty content. I don't know when it was that we decided to sort of step away from that. I don't know the exact year, but I know why we did it. There was this one dude, this public relations guy that used to work for Treyarch, that said that Optic was only popular or only successful because of Call of Duty. It was at that moment, at that very specific moment, that I said, okay, let's try Minecraft. And through Minecraft, we were able to sort of transcend Call of Duty and bring all of these other external people that loved Minecraft and liked our personality and they were like, holy shit, wait, you play competitively, Nate Shot? What does that mean? So now we have all these other fans that want to support you because they know you off of Minecraft. They're like, yo, that's my boy. I watch this dude every day. I want to see him beat somebody else in Call of Duty. He's like, oh shit, he's got a good ass team behind him. And then that sort of gave us the gas that we needed in order to like become bigger. And then we're like, well, now it's time for us to transcend gaming. Let's create, personality driven content where, the pranks, the challenges, like all that stuff. So I think we sort of rode the wave of everything that was sort of becoming popular. Sometimes we paved the way, sometimes other people paved the way, and we sort of followed. And at the time it was a lot easier and a lot harder, right? At the time the community wasn't what it is today. 50,000 subscribers back then is the equivalent of 500,000 subscribers today. So for us it was sort of riding those separate waves. And when there was no audience, we built it, and when the audience was built, we expanded. And little by little we became the most popular underdog team in Call of Duty, which added fuel to that fire. The 1 year in Black Ops 2, which is when Call of Duty competitive really took off, we didn't win a single game. We won the first one, which is when Nate Shot almost fought Aches. And from that moment on, we didn't win shit until X Games, the gold medal at X Games. So we went months without winning. So we were the most popular team, yet an underdog, which adds fuel. So who doesn't want to see the underdog win?
Yeah,
and when you're the most popular one, like imagine that fire. So when we won, it was all said and done, man.
That's funny that you said that, because I joined this kind of late, and so when I kind of got into it, it was around 2016 or so, and I just saw Optic, right? I see the logo and like all the swagger behind all these highlight videos, and I'm like, oh, these guys are the best. These guys are the Patriots of esports. But you guys, like you just
I was the same way, man.
Branded.
I knew about you guys first. I knew about you first for sure, and that is not. It sounds like it was very much on purpose. You guys were trying. The new people that were like, hey, what is this? You wanted to be the first name that they saw.
One of the most, and I'm not saying it's a genius move, but it's a genius move. One of the most important things that we did was to make sure that our intro, every single video that went out, the intro had to have the Optic Gaming logo at the beginning. Every single video. So when you're producing videos from 2008 all the way to 2013, which is when we sort of stopped because everybody knew what Optic was, we were hammering that down everybody's throat. We were just like, Optic. We put Optic in front of fucking everything, and it worked.
Dude, that's it. 100% worked. I came in and I was like, this is Nate Shot is the Tom Brady of the gaming Patriots, and I'm over it. I don't know about this. And turns out you guys hadn't even like gotten to that level yet, and that's when I was around X Games is when you guys won, and I was like, oh, they haven't won
there it is.
What?
Well, no, we in Black Ops 2 we hadn't won up until that. I mean, we had a lot of championships during.
Oh no, that's what I meant with Black Ops.
Yeah. So I mean, it helps to win too, right? Like we take a very serious approach to winning. Nobody can ever look at my team and think, oh, they're not being competitive, right? But we put the number one thing in front, which is getting to know the audience, getting to know I want everybody that watches that to know who we are first, because everything else doesn't matter. If they're going to support you, win or lose, you're winning. So whether you win, you lose, it doesn't matter, right? But content, you gotta keep the business healthy, period. And that is through the content. But we take the same approach to winning that we do content. Like it's as important. You got to do both, and you got to do both the right way.
And would you say, I want to expand just slightly, especially now in 2021. So how the whole market has changed, especially since the PUBG craze got big, and then the Fortnite craze got big, and the mainstream kind of started intersecting in all these different directions, right? And then venture capital started coming out of nowhere, and they wanted to figure out how do esports organizations make money. Right now, here in March of 2021, the content versus esports conversation, the orgs that are doing it the best, and like you just kind of said it, but just to kind of reiterate, that balance. It's like your competitiveness comes out immediately when you start talking about this stuff. That's having an owner that's like, you're reflecting on me, guys. We're winning. We're doing this. That plus understanding how important content is, and like understanding and liking the players as people as well is keeps it healthy. That you feel like that is like that is the key. That is like the key to making this whole thing work. If you're running any sports organization, is building the best thing you can, because you're not always going to win because there's another team playing against you. But if you don't, you've built a healthy enough fan base, people that really love you, that you already won. Is that right now in this world? If you're building one, you need to that should be your focus.
Esports is not where sports is right now. Therefore, nobody that works in esports should consider themselves that they should not confuse themselves in thinking that I don't see Tom Brady fucking streaming. I don't see Tom Brady doing all this extra content. Like, he'll do commercials, sure, but he gets paid for that. Like, investing in yourself right now is like the number one thing. And you know what? It sucks. It sucks for the professional players that are doing it right now, because in the future, call it 5-10 years down the line, there are going to be those, probably, like, we're almost there, right? With the salaries that are just like insane out there right now. But it will get to the point to where it's at. But right now, we're not there. Right now, we're not getting the ad dollars that we are going to get, call it 2 to 3 years down the line, where old Pappy Van Winkle Voss old man who sends a bottle of Pappy Van Winkle to his favorite ad executive, who's also super old and knows fucking Jim and Martha and all their kids, and see their pictures. Here's my Christmas card. That sort of relationship, when those dudes retire, the young, super grindy, not grimy, grindy ad executives that know and understand that the world is now here and no longer on the TV, all those billions of ad dollars are going to funnel through into esports and gaming entertainment. I know that. Everybody knows that. It's only a matter of time before they're like, okay, you know what? This team versus this other NBA team is only getting 20,000 views plus the 20,000 in there. Call it 40,000 eyeballs through there. We have one kid over here that's doing 50,000 concurrents every single day.
Himself.
Yeah.
They are going to start to think about that and realize that, and they're just gonna. It's only a matter of time. Right now, until that switch happens, you have a duty to yourself, but more importantly, you have a responsibility to take every single advantage that you have by having the honor to have an audience in this space, because there are millions and millions of people that would give up an arm, a leg, to be in the position that somebody's in, to truly take advantage of the position that they're in. So that's a responsibility that I've never taken lightly, that I instill in the players, that I bring up all the time. I'm like, this dude would kill someone to have the opportunity to play video games for a living. And that is a heavy responsibility.
Yeah. That's so crazy interesting, because we are the exact flip opposite in professional sports. We have a content problem, but we got the esports. We got the sports thing down.
Baseball,
right? Baseball is a content.
Bam.
But Bam's a big issue. We got a time limit here. I can't get into this. But Bam pisses me off every day. But I am also taking it upon myself, like you just said, to build the thing. I am a relief pitcher that's not a closer. Right. I was just in Minnesota for there's like 700,000 total people that watch the Twins. I love the Twins. I love the organization. They just don't have a huge group of people to draw from. It's just not
but it's not
the market.
It's not their fault. It's bro. When baseball decided to take baseball away from kids and say Bam is the only way that you're gonna be able to see a fucking highlight, done. It was going to be, and look, it's never too late to correct that, right? They literally can say, give the kids the baseball content. It's easy. It is easy. Pay to this, like you're gonna get your money. Okay, you are gonna get your money.
Just baseball. In the back end. It's in the back end, not the front end. You're not getting paid up front. Those days are gone. They're gone. They're gonna be gone. You just wait till CBS, till NBC goes, oh, by the way, nah, we're not gonna give you $1 billion or $5 billion for this TV contract anymore.
They're just not worth it anymore.
They're just gonna go, nah, one time, and then we're gonna be like, wait, so now what? That's what's gonna happen.
Yeah,
and then you know what's gonna happen? They're gonna be like, well, we can't pay any players anymore because God forbid we take a loss. I'm just okay. Anyway, but players like me who are not gonna get the $300 million contract and be the Tom Brady's that don't need to stream. It's not that I need to either. Yeah, but I understand that, especially like take this all the way to the beginning of the pod. I know that I'm learning so much stuff that's going to help that 19-year-old kid that just got drafted in 5 years, when he is a star, but he is now, the things on the table are just the things he has. It's not just, oh, do I have a shoe deal and do I have a glove deal? It's going to be so many things that are outside the box that we don't even know about yet. And it's based on stuff that you really, like we said, that you really love doing too. That's big too. So, but bro, it's so funny that you said that way, because it's just exactly flipped,
bro. If you think about all of the representation agencies that exist out there, right? Like if you look at Vayner Sports, what Gary did for the athletes that he's represented, to have a fucking website ready to go for when they get drafted, to get all that, like to have his hoodie, his jersey, his autographed whatever ready to go the second that he gets drafted, the second he's able to make money. That did so much for that one player that, you know, the other people aren't gonna go above and beyond like that. That's why they're gonna win, right? They understand the internet where other people don't.
Yeah, exactly. And the beauty of everything you just said too with football, because they mostly do football guys. I don't even know if they have any baseball guys yet, but because of the NCAA, they already have, like, those opportunities present themselves before they can take advantage of them very clearly. So like you can set up that stuff really, really well. And if you execute it, which he's all about execution, he just gets it. Obviously he gets it. He's very, very successful for the reasons you just listed. And yeah, man, that's awesome. I never had thought about it that way. I'm going to use that. That's how I'm going to answer the question in the future, to try to get people around. Hey, this is why esports are different than us. All right. Before we move on to our quick game, I would love to shout out the newest member of the MCA Podcast Network. Unvaulted is a show hosted by none other than Squatting Dog, a friend of the pod, and a Fortnite creator extraordinaire. Join him every other Friday for a rundown of the latest updates, news, and maybe even meet one of your favorite players. You can listen to the episode of Unvaulted now on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and anywhere else you may listen. All right. We are going into our game. This is rapid fire. We're going to, frankly, Hex has some opinions.
Yeah.
And I want to hear them. I want to hear as many of them in a short amount of time as humanly possible. So basically, I'm going to give you two things. You tell me which one's better. Is that easy? It's easy. And hopefully easy. There's a lot of just
until you hit me with
takes.
Tacos or burritos. Then I'm going to be like,
oh, put it in.
Hey, it's in there. So, but first, and you already answered this one, but I can't wait to hear the absolute militant vitriol in your voice. Controller or mouse and keyboard?
Controller.
Okay.
Just because I'm too old to change.
Okay.
That's actually a relatable reason.
But I did turn up on Battalion 1944 with the keyboard and mouse, baby. All it took was a couple of days.
3-4 kills. Not bad, my guy. Not bad.
It is true. All right. All right. Console or PC?
PC.
Smart. Because you grew up for a long time in Chicago, do you prefer visiting the West Coast or the East Coast? I know you don't like LA.
No, I'd rather go there than to go. You know, I've only visited Boston, and Boston, Maryland. I guess that's part of that, and New York. And New Jersey. So yeah, LA.
Yeah,
LA for sure. West.
Oh well. Yeah, he just started off the episode by saying everything smells like piss, and he still chose LA. So yeah, that's what that means to Jersey, guys.
To visit.
Speaks volumes about Jersey.
All right. Burgers or pizza?
Pizza.
Okay.
Tacos or burritos?
Burritos.
Wow, I agree.
Real burritos, okay? Not the
real burritos.
Yeah, not
what does that mean?
Oversized. Well, the part of Mexico that I'm from. So I was born in Texas, but I lived in Mexico from the time that I was a young whippersnapper all the way till I was 13 years old, which is when my parents kidnapped me and brought me to Chicago. Okay.
Wow.
But yeah, burritos. Burritos is the way to go. Burritos are thinner. They're not a football size burrito. They're just regular burritos.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm also wondering at the legalese behind two parents kidnapping their child. I don't even know if that's possible. You know,
well,
it might be.
Did.
You never know.
I thank them for it now, but at the time I was like, "What the fuck? What about my friends? You got cousins? I don't like my cousins." I did like them, but
that's funny. That's good. That's good. All right, Black Ops 2 or Modern Warfare 2?
Black Ops 2.
Ooh.
Open.
I'm a Modern Warfare guy, not a Modern Warfare 2 guy.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I did notice it's pretty very clear. Like most people are one or the other. Call of Duty OGs are one or the other. They start.
Yeah,
it's just they never. You know. Yeah. It's
M48.3
one of them
from Call of Duty 4, M48.3 from Call of Duty 4. They make a cross. That's the crosshair. Quick scope. Dead.
Whoa.
There you go. Oh yeah, I got to remember too.
Damn.
Like how important sniping was, right? So that makes sense. Open or closed back headphones?
I don't mind either, to be honest. I don't notice.
All right, I'm just a huge open guy. I hate closed back. Toilet paper over the top or underneath?
Over the top, and only to blow your nose. To wipe your ass, you better be using wet wipes, especially if you're a grown ass man. What sort of animal still uses toilet paper as a grown man?
Or if you're even more grown up, buy a damn bidet.
I have one, have never used it. Seems weird.
Dude,
one day I'll give it a
let it shoot the water.
If you've ever taken a shower after a duker, dude, that's what it is. You can skip the step. It works. Trust.
Does it really? I don't know, man.
They're $30 on Amazon. Do it, dude. It takes 5 minutes.
I'm gonna give it a shot, but just without doing the deed before that. I'm just gonna go in just like
You're just gonna go and
give it a shot,
splatter.
Just give it a shot.
I just don't want any splatter anywhere.
Just give it a shot. Funny thing about the toilet paper over the top versus underneath. Did you know that toilet paper over the top was a literal? It's a scam by toilet paper companies. They put the print on the top. So it flips over because they want you to pull from over the top because you use way more toilet paper that way.
Yeah.
Underneath actually use less. And so that's actually a smart way to do it. So you don't use a bunch of extra, but they did that on purpose because they want you to buy more toilet paper. Genius.
Well,
Jim in marketing.
Yeah.
Nice job, dude.
Outstanding.
You're robbing people. Okay. Next, pineapple or no pineapple on pizza?
No pineapple. None.
Correct.
Thank God.
Correct. Rock or hip hop?
Hip hop.
Correct.
Because hip hop's the way I walk, talk, live, dress, act, see, smell, shit, fuck.
Ooh,
okay.
The RZA, Rhyme and Reason, 1994.
Nice.
My goodness.
Country or EDM?
EDM.
Yes. Correct again. You're doing good. Milk first or cereal first?
Cereal first.
My goodness.
I don't think there is a person on the other one. Hot or cold weather? You come from both.
Hot. I moved from Chicago for a reason.
Okay, gotcha. Do you prefer carpet or hardwood?
Hardwood.
Same. Lamborghini or Ferrari?
Lamborghini.
Nice.
You buy a Ferrari to impress people. You drive a Lamborghini to never be forgotten.
What are these?
Inject that into my vein. I don't even know what that means, but I want it on as a tattoo on the inside of my bicep. That's on
my lower back.
Nope.
Coffee or energy drinks?
Coffee. Last time I had an energy drink was in 2003 when I was working in the mortgage industry. Had a Red Bull early in the morning. By 2:00, everything was green, and I said, "It's not for me."
Oh, okay.
Whoa, your eyesight went green?
Yeah. Everything had a tint of green.
What?
That's
weird.
Horrifying.
Green wall.
Also, what the hell's going on over Red Bull?
Gosh.
Is it called soda or pop?
Soda.
Correct.
Okay.
Is the book or the movie ever better?
The movie is always better for me.
Going to a party or just staying home?
You know what's crazy? Now I would have to say go to a party, where in my younger days it would be like stay at home.
What? Okay.
Yeah, I am the complete opposite, bro. All my friends would go to the club, and I'm like, it would be a drag to get me out there. Now I'm like, yeah, I'll go be social.
Wow,
I love that. So this is kind of extension on that. Go out to eat or order food in?
Go out to eat.
Okay. Twitter or Instagram?
Twitter for me.
100%.
Fist bump or handshake?
Handshake. Fist bump if you don't know the person. Handshake if you do.
I gotcha.
Oh, okay.
And then finally, Twitch or YouTube?
YouTube.
Okay. All right.
100%. Not even a choice.
Not even a choice.
Yeah. Do you want to get discovered, dude? Because if you have a Twitch, you better have a YouTube.
Is that for nostalgia's sake you're saying that? Just because you've been with more for YouTube? Or you're just saying as a platform, you think YouTube is a better platform?
It's a platform. It's way better, more developed. I mean, the Twitch is a small community platform in comparison to that. If you ask me, you can live stream on YouTube. You don't have VOD or such a robust VOD offering on Twitch. So YouTube.
I mean, he makes the points.
He does make the points.
I stream on Twitch. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, no, of course.
Yeah. Why wouldn't you? Why would you just be on you? Like, the one thing is you can do both, and they have different groups of people that watch.
Unless you're under contract with one or the other.
Unless you can't do both.
Yeah, you know what? If somebody wants to give me a contract because I stream once every 2 weeks, give me a contract. That's the platform that I like.
I mean, we had iPod King Carter. He's on Caffeine. He's on YouTube. He's on Twitch. He's on
everything.
He's on Facebook.
If I didn't have the job that I have now, with the responsibilities that I have with that, like, I would try to be on as many platforms as possible. I mean, even now, I think the one of the beauty that we have is the ability to monetize this podcast, for example, right? Like my podcast, I monetize on YouTube, and then on top of that, I'm doing ad reads, and then on top of that, I'm clipping the podcast to upload on my second channel, which is also going to be monetized. And then on top of that, we're putting that on Instagram. We're putting that on, like, one piece of content goes everywhere. You can monetize it in every single one of those instances. So you're triple, quadruple dipping at once.
And you should, because there ain't nothing wrong with it, right? You got to do it.
I mean, that's how every meeting goes with Trevor over this podcast. All right, we're putting the content. We're putting it everywhere. We're putting it on OnlyFans. We're putting it on TikTok. We're putting it on Twitter.
Clipping thing needs to happen. That was going to be in our next meeting, dude. So you said it.
All right.
Yeah.
Lock it away.
Only pods. It's going everywhere.
Only
everywhere.
That's funny. Starting that platform. All right. Well, we are moving into our final segment before we let you go. It is called Who Have You Been Watching Lately? Basically, we give a shout out to someone we throw on our side monitor as gamers and people that play games and, watch streams, and we all do that stuff and hang out with our boys and whatever. I always have someone on my side monitor. I feel like it's something that only people that stream and are in on Twitch and in on YouTube, like, know what we're talking about, kind of just as background. So
yeah,
I will start. We'll give you a little bit of time. I know you got probably a lot of people on that list, so you can narrow it down. It doesn't need to be one. It can be several. Whatever you want.
For the interest of not naming any of my players or any of my friends, I'm gonna say that I watch more fishing content than anything else out there.
Fishing content.
More fishing content?
I'm sorry, not more fishing, but I watch fishing content more often than I watch anything else. So,
very nice.
Guggen Squad.
Who is it?
Guggen Squad.
Guggen Squad.
Like cast and reel and fishing?
Yeah, like bass fishing. That's why I brought up Lake Okeechobee earlier.
He's a fisherman, dude.
I'm a fisherman.
All coming around, full circle.
Yeah. One of the main reasons that
All right. Have you ever heard of Lake Pulaski?
No.
It is apparently a nationally famous lake in upstate New York. It's like an hour north of me, and it's known for salmon. People will flock up here, and it's like the tourist central for salmon.
So, one day. Right now, strictly bass for me.
Strictly bass? All right, fair enough. Hey,
Florida, dude, bass fishing for days.
My goodness.
You can walk out to any man-made pond. You can find a bass. It might be 3 inches long and weigh 2 ounces.
Not in Florida. In Florida, they eat year round. You're looking at an average of like 4 pound to 5 pounders out there, dude.
Whoa.
Okay, maybe the one I caught was he was a lame duck. He looked like Nemo. He had one little fin. He could barely move, and I was like, I caught a fish.
Barely move.
Then you got to.
Well, if you guys are ever in Texas, I'll be happy to take you guys fishing.
I'll be down.
I'd be
fishing. I can do hunting.
On a boat or
Same
like
way.
by the dock, like
on
your
a boat.
dad style.
On my bass boat.
I'll take 4 or 5 Dramamine. We'll get it done. Just don't let me fall in because I'll freak out.
No, you'll be good.
All right, cool. So sounds dope, but fishing content, I did not expect it.
Did not see that coming.
Shout out to Guggen Squad. They
Guggen Squad.
I'm involved in the business, but they're friends of mine for over 10 years. They do close to 50 to 60 million views a month on fishing and outdoor content.
Wow.
Our bait business is, I don't know, it accounts for like 3% of all fishing sales in the world.
Whoa.
So Shout out to them. Content to commerce. It's applicable for everything. So anybody that's listening to this podcast, if you like to draw, if you like to fish, if you like to decorate, create that content, because you're going to be happy of the fact that 10 years down the line, you're like, oh shit, I recorded myself doing something that I love, and here I am still doing it, and I'm learning from the past. If you are passionate about something, there's a podcast that's needed for you to talk about how passionate you are about that.
People give a shit about it just like you do.
Yeah.
They just do. There's people everywhere. Bro, here's what we're doing, Hex.
Gaming, dude.
When I go up to New York and I eventually get on Gary's pod and I go into the office, what I'm going to say is, all right, I'll do this, but Hex has to come out and be on the pod with me. And then we're going to go and we're going to talk about all how you're into fishing and I'm into the content, and we're going to vibe. But unfortunately, with the three of us, I don't think anyone's getting any words in sideways on Gary.
Well, he still owes me to come on my podcast. So we're just waiting for COVID to go down. He owns the Minnesota Rockers, so we have that sort of relationship going on already. I think, man, when was it? First time we met was in like 2016, and since then we've been trying to get on the same podcast together. So
he was down in Vegas at the same time as us, and I missed him by an hour.
Oh, we went to breakfast with him. Me, Jack, Maddie, his girlfriend, Nate showed up. We all hung out.
I saw the pictures. I was distraught because
very jealous.
Missed each other many times. We're in the same city a lot, and we never get to link up. But that'll happen, and I'm fired up about it. All right, Paul, do you have a side monitor?
Yeah, 100%. I got distracted looking at the soft baits on Guggen Squad's website.
I'm such a researcher, dude. You're number one.
I like looking at it. I feel like we should know. My shout out to this week is for a buddy of mine. I've shouted him out before, but Crazen.
Hit him up, yeah.
Crazen's great, dude. Twitch.tv/Crazen, Craysin. He plays Escape from Tarkov. You cannot meet a nicer Chad in the game. And he's like an undercover Chad. He'll apologize after shooting you and taking all your loot. Like, oh man, I'm so sorry. You're like, good luck next time. Like, oh, I got lucky. But they'll do that all the time and genuinely mean it. So if you're looking for a guy who's just the nicest person on earth, who's always excited about streaming, brings that same energy, and I think has a lot of what Hex said earlier of like the content is what he's happy to make. Like that's the thing that drives him.
Yeah.
In and of itself, not like the monetary value, just that he embodies that, and he's also really good at the game. So it helps as well. So twitch.tv/Crazen, Craysin is my shout out this week.
And for me, a new buddy that I've made recently playing Minecraft more often from the Purge server. His name is Deluxe4, part of the crew. I just want to give him a little shout out because you know what? He was kind to me, even if it was half not kind. It was more making fun of me the whole time. But I'll allow it because I'm a professional athlete and I'm winning. So he's been great. He invited me into his new server. We're starting it up, dude. It's Pixelmon. We're playing Pokemon and Minecraft. I've never been so excited to just like go into a server, have no idea what I'm doing. And evidently we're going to have arena battles and stuff. So it's going to be sick. But that's a huge shout out to Deluxe4. He is coming on the pod at some point. So you will see him, but and shout out to the whole crew. I mean, I think I've shouted them all out one at a time so far on the pod. But if you're trying to get into Minecraft, and they're legends in the space too, especially with that game, man. You're not going to find funnier, just more creative stuff than those guys. So big shout out to Lux and the rest of the guys. Awesome,
very good. Well, as we kind of wrap it up here, Hex, we want to know just coming up. We know you got something cooking. What's next for you, man? What do you got coming up? Any events, streams, any merch, anything you want to
companies launching
about? Yeah, seriously,
IPOs,
takeovers,
eventually
aggressive cryptocurrency coming out.
Yeah, I think the one thing that we have is we're launching the Optic Chicago brand, jerseys, hoodies, all the good stuff, flags, socks, all that next Friday. So I don't know when this is going live, but not this Friday. But actually, it is this Friday. What day is this Friday? I don't even know. 23, the 26th. This Friday.
26.
Yeah. So yeah, that's it. We want to plug in that, and want to give a shout out to all of my sponsors. And yeah, that's it. Thank you to both of you for inviting me. I was super surprised and excited to be on. So please don't let this be the last time. I had a good time.
It will not.
No shot.
We have
Absolutely
way more
not.
stuff to talk
Trevor's
about.
already chopping the bit. He's already scheduled the second one.
You should
Very
see my notepad.
And to our listeners, a reminder, you have two ways to get on the pod. In addition to the review of the week, which I'll read here in a moment, you can also text or call the number 503-908-9526. Leave a voicemail or a text, and we'll read your question for our guest or in general on the next podcast. And before we go, our review of the week comes from YouTube. It's from J. Daubert. It's French. Daubert. J. Daubert 21. This is the best game you guys have done. It was initials. Very good. Besides PEMDAS, of course. That was an awful game. We will never do that again.
Do that again. That's dead.
PM is only the producer because of that awful game. I enjoy when the games are fun and challenging. Trevor should always be game master. Thank you.
Oh God, why we choose that review? That's crazy.
I don't know. I can't imagine why we would choose that review. It's weird. This has been the May Contain Action podcast, everybody. You can listen on all major carriers, including Spotify, iTunes, Google Play. Watch the VOD on YouTube. Be sure to rate 5 stars, leave a review where you can, and you may be on the next episode. Also go follow us on May Contain Pod, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and at May Contain Action on TikTok. Hex, please plug all your socials before we head out.
At Optic CHI on Twitter.
I love it. This
all
dedication.
Of you go to that one.
F me. Look at that.
Buy a damn
That's
hoodie.
Fantastic. Buy a hoodie. Can't wait. 26 when it all drops. All right, guys. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. See you next week. Peace.